This judge you arrested in Wisconsin, she was breaking federal law, wasn't she?
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI, Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hot News. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Today's hearing was pure fire. Senator John Kennedy lit up FBI Director Patel. He went straight for the truth. Let's walk through the most explosive moments. Let's start with a major moment. Kennedy asked about the arrest of a state court judge in Wisconsin. This judge aided an illegal immigrant in avoiding federal custody. Kennedy asked the question we're all thinking. The answer is no. When a judge breaks federal law, they get arrested. Equal treatment under the law, period. Next up, Kennedy dug into the Strzok-Page scandal. Remember them? Two federal officials caught in an affair sending anti-Trump texts while investigating Trump. These people weren't just biased. They were actively working against the guy they were investigating, and here's the kicker, they got paid. Strzok got up to $1.2 million, Lisa Page, $800,000. Kennedy asked a fair question, why? Director Patel didn't have an answer. Want more breakdowns like this? Smash that subscribe button and join the crew.
This would be the same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
This one is big. Kennedy turned to the infamous Hunter Biden laptop. The FBI had the laptop 10 months before the 2020 election. They knew it wasn't Russian disinformation. Yet, former intel officials signed a letter calling it Russian propaganda. That letter came just days after the New York Post broke the story. Kennedy asked who at the FBI prevented the truth from coming out. I want a person, not a division, Kennedy demanded.
The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story, it was widely covered, talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon-to-be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yep, he went there. Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or was he killed? Director Patel said he hung himself, but Kennedy pressed, when will the FBI release all the information? Patel answered, we're working on it. Kennedy hit back. Before I die, The audience laughed, but it wasn't funny.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims.
That was one of the most intense hearings we've seen in a long time. Senator Kennedy demanded answers, from FBI corruption to the Biden laptop and Epstein's death. There's a lot we don't know. If we don't hold our institutions accountable, nobody will. Like, subscribe and share this video. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed.